Hello, children. I will continue with the second part of Act 2, Scene 7 today. In the previous part, we had already read that the Prince of Morocco is ready to choose the casket, and Portia takes him before the caskets and tells him that one of them contained her picture, and if he chooses that casket, then she will be his. Then the prince reads the inscriptions written on each casket, and he gives his opinion about each. After reading the inscription on the lead casket, he decides not to choose it because of its threatening message. And at the same time, being belonging to a royal family, he was not going to stoop in front of such a worthless thing like lead. Then after that, he reads the inscription on the silver casket, and then he feels that he really deserves to have Portia, and he gives certain reasons also as to why he deserves Portia. That is because of his royal family, royal birth, because of his wealth, then his good qualities, his upbringing, and the most important point that because of his love for Portia, he deserves to have her. Then he wants to choose a silver casket. He hesitates a little, but then he goes on to read the inscription on the gold casket. Now, today I'll continue after that. The Hycranian deserts and the vasty wilds of wide Arabia are as thoroughfares now for princes to come view fair Portia. Now, here, after reading the inscription on the gold casket, the prince says that all the world, all the people desires to have Portia because she is so beautiful, and they come from all the four corners of the earth in order to see her. And the Hycranian deserts, that is the desert to the south of the Caspian Sea, and the vasty wilds of Arabia. Wilds means the wilderness of Arabia. They are as thoroughfares. Thoroughfares means main roads which are used by princes in order to come and see Portia. That is, these deserts and wilderness, they are not traveled by people. But in order to see Portia, in order to come and see Portia, these princes travel across these deserts and wilderness as if they are traveling across a main road. The watery kingdom, whose ambitious head spits in the face of heaven, is no bar to stop the foreign spirits. The watery kingdom means the oceans, whose ambitious head means huge waves, spits in the face of heaven. So the huge waves of the oceans, they spit. Spit means they go so high, it seems as if they are throwing up water to the heaven. It is no bar to stop the foreign spirits, and these oceans with huge waves are also no barrier. Bar here means barrier, which will stop the foreign spirits, that is the suitors who all are coming from other countries. But they come as over a brook to see fair Portia. But these princes, these suitors, they come across these oceans as if they are crossing a brook, that is a small stream, in order to come and see Portia. So these princes are so eager to come and see the beautiful Portia that these deserts, wilderness, and these oceans with huge waves are nothing for them. One of these three contains her heavenly picture. One of the caskets contains Portia's beautiful divine picture. Is it like that lead contains her? Is it possible that the lead casket contains her? 'Twere damnation to think so base a thought. But then he realizes that it will be a damnation, it will be a sin to think so base, so low a thought. It will be a sin to think such a low thing. It were too gross to rib her cerecloth in the obscure grave. And he says that that is the lead is such a coarse, gross here means coarse, that lead is such a coarse and ordinary metal that it is not good enough to even rib her cerecloth. Rib means enfold, to keep her cerecloth, and cerecloth is the cloth in which a dead body is wrapped before it is placed in the grave. So here he says that lead is such a coarse metal that it was not ideal enough to even keep her cerecloth when her dead body was going to be wrapped in it and placed in the obscure grave, that is in the dark grave. Or shall I think in silver she is immured, being 10 times undervalued to tried gold. Then he thinks as to whether her picture is kept in the silver, immured. Immured means locked up, whether her picture is locked up in the silver casket. But again he realizes that silver is 10 times undervalued, that is silver is 10 times inferior in value to tried gold, that is pure gold. Oh sinful thought, and this thinking about this is also very sinful, that the portrait of such a beautiful lady will be kept in silver. Never so rich a gem was set in worse than gold. Never such a rich gem was never set in anything less than gold. They have in England a coin that bears the figure of an angel stamped in gold. Then he here gives an example about a coin that was used in England that had the figure of an angel stamped in gold. But that's insculped upon. But that figure of angel was insculped upon means it was carved outside on that coin. But here an angel in a golden bed lies all within. But here an angel, that is Portia, the picture of Portia, lies in golden bed. Golden bed here is referred to the casket, and it lies inside the casket, not outside. Deliver me the key, here do I choose, and thrive I as I may. And then he asks for the key. Give me the keys, and here do I choose, and thrive I as I may. And he then finally decides to choose the gold casket. And then he says, thrive I as I may. That is, maybe he will succeed. Portia, there take it, prince, and if my form lie there, then I am yours. Then Portia gives the key to Morocco, and she says that if my form, that is if her picture lies inside the gold casket, then she belongs to him. He opens the golden casket. Morocco, oh hell, what have we here? And when Morocco opens the casket, he is shocked to see what was inside, and he uses the expression here, oh hell. A carrion death within whose empty eye there is a written scroll. And what did he see inside? Instead of Portia's portrait, what did he find there? A carrion death, that is a dead skull, within whose empty eye, that is in the hollow eye socket, he saw a written scroll, that is a paper rolled up on which something was written. I'll read the writing, and then he reads what was written on the scroll. All that glisters is not gold, often have you heard that told. And then on it a famous proverb was written on that scroll, that all that glisters, that is all that glitters is not gold. That is it is a proverb which is related, and its meaning is that uh, whatever you see from outside, it is not necessary that it is the same inside also. That is, if you see something attractive outside, it is not possible that it is the same inside also. And it is a proverb that we have often heard. Many a man his life hath sold, but my outside to behold. And many a man has given his life to see the outside, that is, the exterior of gold. Many people have given, they have given their life to get or see gold. Gilded tombs do worms enfold. Gilded tombs here means gold plated. Gilded means gold plated, and tombs are the place where the dead bodies are kept. So here Morocco says that gold plated, that beautifully decorated tombs have worms enfold, that is, worms inside. So the tomb looks very beautiful from outside. It is beautiful to look at from outside. But what is there inside the tomb? A person's decaying body with worms. Or maybe there can be a skeleton inside. So it looks very beautiful from inside, from outside, but inside it is all worms. Had you been as wise as bold, young in limbs, in judgment old, your answer had not been inscrolled. And then here Morocco says that if it was written on the scroll, that if Morocco had been as wise as bold, if he had been wise, young in limbs, he was a young person, but in judgment old. But if he had been experienced in judgment, old here means experienced, if he was experienced, then your answer had not been inscrolled. Then your answer would not have been the one written on the scroll. So he should have been wise and experienced. He should have made a proper, correct judgment. Fare you well, your suit is cold. And finally it was written that fare you well, goodbye, your suit is cold, your request is dead, your request is, you are now, your request is not going to be accepted. Cold indeed and labor lost. Cold here means disappointment. Now he had to face disappointment, and labor lost. All his efforts were lost. Then farewell heat and welcome frost. Now that he was not going to get Portia, he says farewell heat. Heat here is for passionate love. So he says farewell to passionate love, and he welcomes frost. Frost also here means disappointment. Portia, adieu. Then he says goodbye to Portia. I have too grieved a heart to take a tedious leave. And then he says that he has a too grieved heart, that is a very sad heart, which was full of disappointment, to take a tedious leave, to take a formal leave from Portia. Thus losers part. So this is the way how losers go away. Exit with his train, flourish of corners. So the Prince of Morocco goes back sad and disappointment with his attendants. And then there is the sound of trumpets. Portia, a gentle riddance. Now here, as soon as the prince leaves, Portia says a gentle riddance, that is a good riddance. She is happy that she has got rid of the Prince of Morocco. Draw the curtains, go and draw the curtains, and she orders the servants to go and draw the curtains before the caskets. Let all of his complexion choose me so. And then Portia wishes that let all of his complexion, that let all the dark complexioned people like the Prince of Morocco choose me so, choose her in the same way. That is, she wishes that all dark complexioned men should choose the wrong casket, like the prince, so that she doesn't have to marry them. So here we come to know that Portia doesn't want to marry a dark complexioned man. So she wishes that every dark complexioned man like Morocco should choose the wrong casket so that she doesn't have to marry him. And this shows that she is a racist. So this is the end of scene 7, children. You go through it again because it is related to the choice of the casket by Morocco, and it is related to a previous scene also. So go through this and prepare it for your exam, and also do the extracts given in your workbook.